We could start by exploring why we have this issue, delving into childhood self-esteem issues and past traumas. It definitely would be useful. However, sometimes we all just need a quick tip on how to do something. My name is Darina and I'm a fourth-year psychology student. I run a psychology vlog for a happier living and happier relationships. So let's get started. Saying no to people is a skill that can't be mastered in a couple of days. The ability to firmly and calmly refuse without feeling guilty is all about establishing and adjusting strong personal boundaries. But here's some good news. It will be scary at first, but it gets much easier after the first few attempts. There are several tactics that make saying no less stressful. Here are some tips. So tip number 1, buy yourself some time if it's difficult and scary for you to refuse at the time of the request. Don't say no immediately. Say that you'll think about it and get back to them later. You can use phrases like, I need to check my schedule. First, I want to consult with my family or friends or colleagues. That's quite unexpected. I need to think it through thoroughly. I had a tough day. How about I carefully consider your proposal tomorrow with a fresh mind? These formulations don't sound like a direct refusal, so the other person won't be offended. Meanwhile, you'll have time to take a breath, calmly weigh the pros and cons and prepare for further conversation. By the way, if you keep watching this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps us creators. Tip number 2, rehearse the dialogue. Think through and, if you want, even write down what you'll say to the person. Your task is to communicate the refusal, optionally briefly explain the reason and offer an alternative. Be calm and friendly, but avoid justifying yourself or getting into lengthy, tangled explanations. Lengthy justifications can make the person think that you're simply making excuses without any real reason to refuse. If the request comes from a close friend, they might not understand such a move. Let's pretend someone is asking you to help them move a couch to their new apartment, and since you have a big car and strong hands, they asked you. Here are a few examples of saying the same thing but in different ways. First, not so good example. You can say, sorry, I've been thinking and I realized I can't help you move the couch into your new apartment. I'd love to help, but I'm swamped at work and exhausted, so I can't right now. Sorry again. It's really inconvenient. If it weren't for work, I would definitely help. And blah 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 blah. Example sounds quite apologetic and lacks confidence. A better example would be, I'm sorry, but unfortunately I can't help you right now. I have a lot of work. Let me give you the contacts of some movers who helped me move a wardrobe last year. You can also anticipate possible objections in advance. When you understand what you're relying on when refusing, it will be very helpful. For example, if you have a lot of work and no time, any persuasion attempts will shatter against this solid argument. For instance, they might say, can you help me on the next weekend? I'm really short on money and can't afford professional movers. And you can respond, I understand, but I'll be working on the next weekends too. I won't be able to help in the near future. Sorry. Tip number 3, practice in a safe environment. Start with the least intimidating situation for you. For some, it might be easier to refuse their mom's request to drive her to the airport at 4 a.m. If that sounds quite challenging at the beginning, an easier version would be to say no to a bank employee trying to sell an additional service. You can also start with a more comfortable format, such as refusing in written form, if that's easier for you. Then, as you feel more confident, you can move on to more challenging refusals. I hope you find this video helpful, guys. Don't forget to give give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more helpful tips. I will see you in the next videos.